got a decent amount of uphill in that run, decent amount of downhill. The downhill was actually probably harder than the uphill. My knees. Hi everybody and welcome to today's video. My name is Matt and this is What Matters to Matt. And this is actually a pretty big video for me because today we're going to be talking a little bit more about the race that I have coming up in 4 short weeks. I've got an ultra marathon coming up. It's a last man standing ultra. Basically, it's a 5.5 kilometer loop around a trail, and you do that every hour on the hour for 12 hours. What's going to stop you from finishing that trail race? Well, basically, it's if you don't make it, of course, around in one of the hours, if you don't make it around the loop in time, but also you can stop at any time if you're feeling like you're done. Originally, this was me dipping my toes into the ultra experience, and when I signed up for the races, when I sat back in January and looked at my calendar for the year and what I wanted to sign up for, I thought this would be a good opportunity for me to kind of dip my toes into the ultra marathon world, knowing that it was only going to be 6 weeks after I had run a marathon. Now I ran that marathon 2 weeks ago. I took a complete week off from running altogether. Then last week I kind of eased back into it, and I think today we'll go over last week's running, and then I'll talk to you a little bit about what this week is going to look like. Of course, next week I'll try to do a full recap on what this week actually turned out to be, but today it's kind of all about what happened last week and how I eased back into my training. Now, what I do want to say here is that I've been trying to figure out how to kind of communicate how important running is to me, because it's a pretty big part of my life. And I was trying to think of a way to say this earlier today, and I thought to myself, running isn't everything, but running impacts everything that is important to me. And I don't know if that makes any sense, but basically it comes down to that I use running as a big part of my life. I love the challenge, I love the ability to push myself, and I take my training very, very seriously. But at the same time, there are lots of other things, of course, family, work, all that stuff that are also important that can impact some of that running and some of that training. All that rambling on to say, let's go back and look at this past week of training. What is going on today, everybody? Now today it has been 1 week since running the marathon. I'm out here with the family. We're gonna go on a bit of a bike ride. And I've got about a 10K run to go on in the local trails, and maybe then we'll talk about exactly what we've got coming up, what we're training for. All right, a little bit of warm up in this bike ride, and we'll go from there. All right, so again, after the marathon, I took a complete week off from training. Now the following Monday, last Monday, we actually had a holiday here where I'm from. So I was able to take that day with the kids, with my wife, and we biked over to the local lake. And then my daughter and I did a number of laps, a number of loops around the lake. I ended up running 6.80 kilometers in total for that, and then just a few kilometers on the bike ride. And then the other thing that I did that day, that Monday, that I haven't done a whole lot of, that I think I'm going to be doing more of just to add up total mileage for the week, is I did a little bit of run commuting. After we got back from the lake, from that run, I wanted to go to the gym, and I did a chest, shoulders, and triceps workout. All right, so really solid start to the day. A little bit of a bike ride and picnic with the family, and then Zoe and I got a run in around the lake. Now we only did about 6.5K. Now my daughter is training for a 10K that we're gonna do together later on this summer in Toronto. But before that, 5 weeks from now, I do have that ultra marathon. So most of the mileage over the next number of weeks is just gonna be just adding up the mileage, just getting as many miles as I can in my legs, time on feet. We might do a speed session every week just to keep my legs turning over, but mostly it's going to be about putting in the miles. So right now I'm going to head off to the gym. I've got a back and biceps workout. It's about 2.5 kilometers away, so nice way to warm up for a gym session for me is actually just to run there. It gives me a little bit of extra mileage on the day. So we're going to head there now. Don't know how much filming I'm going to do. It kind of depends on how busy it is there. I don't like filming too much in the gym if there's a ton of people around. It's just not always the nicest thing to do for other people that are there. But we'll head off to the gym. If I don't get to film anything in there, I'll chat with you guys after, just to give you an idea of how the gym session went and a little bit more on exactly what this training plan over the next 5 weeks is going to look like heading into that ultra. All right, let's go. But the gym is about 2.5 kilometers, a little bit more than 2.5 kilometers away from my house. So I actually jogged to the gym to give myself a little bit of a warm up before that big workout, and then I jogged home. Now keep in mind that I haven't actually been, I say keep in mind, you might not know this, but I haven't actually been doing any weightlifting over the last couple of weeks after and actually before the marathon. When I was tapering, I took a couple weeks off from weightlifting. So this past week was a little bit of an eye-opener for me. I'm somebody who likes to lift quite heavy in the gym, or at least heavy for me. I've been a fan of lifting weights even before I was running. And for the first time in a long time, I was feeling delayed onset muscle soreness and DOMS this week because I had taken enough weeks off from lifting that it impacted me. All right, great back and biceps workout there. I didn't film a whole lot, but probably be able to put a little bit on the screen. I'm gonna run home now. It's just 2.5 kilometers back to the house. Then we're mowing the lawn. Won't film any of that, I don't think. That's not really, I don't think Garmin tracks that either, but they should. They should, but I don't think they track mowing the lawn. So I'm gonna head out for this run, get home, and that's gonna be it for the day. All right, see you guys tomorrow. All right, so Tuesday I actually ended up running at Odell Park. Now, Odell Park is a park here in the Fredericton. You're gonna see this for quite a few runs over the next couple of weeks because there are some hills there. One thing when I was doing my marathon training was that I knew that the marathon that I was running was fairly flat. I enjoy my speed work, I enjoy my interval sessions and my tempo work, so I didn't actually do much for hill training. I didn't involve that in my marathon prep. Definitely gonna do more of that going forward. But over the next few weeks and this past week, I did want to reintroduce some hill work, so we went over to Odell Park. Hi everybody and welcome to this morning's run. It is Tuesday, so kind of day 2 of this mini 5-week training block. We're out here at Odell Park here in Fredericton, and pretty excited for today. Haven't run any hills for a long time. Didn't really use them a lot for my marathon prep that I just went through. It was a really flat course. I know hills will still give you some strength, but just kind of avoided them altogether. So we're just gonna take it pretty easy today. Do a few laps, maybe a lap or two around the park. Get some vert in, not a whole lot. Recovering a little bit from yesterday. I am a little bit sore. I took about 3 weeks off from weightlifting completely leading into the marathon, which was probably the longest time in a lot of years between when I was lifting weights and I got back at it a couple of days ago. Did a chest, shoulders, triceps workout. Yesterday I did back and biceps, and I'm pretty tender. I'm really feeling sort of that delayed onset muscle soreness, which I haven't felt in a very long time. So we're gonna take it kind of easy today, see what we can do, and no real plan, maybe 5 to 10K, just gonna get out, easy run, and call it when we call it. But it is a beautiful day out here. All right, let's get this run going. And I just did an easy 7.39 kilometers. It was at an average pace of 6:20 per kilometer. And I got some decent elevation there, some relatively big elevation for such a short amount of kilometers on that day, but it was still just an easy run, just getting back into feeling what it's like to actually run up those hills. So Wednesday of last week, I actually had 2 workouts on the day. Early in the morning, I got up before I went off to teaching and I did a lag workout. This was again me kind of easing back into lifting weights in the gym after a few weeks off. So I did that early in the morning. I pushed around some weight, didn't really max out anything, but I thought it was a good reintroduction to actually doing some leg work. Keeping in mind that I'm also doing more hill work starting last week. So in terms of just the fatigue in my legs, I had to be a little bit careful, but I did want to ease back into lifting weights with my legs. And in the evening, actually went out with the family for a run. Hi everybody and welcome to another evening of running. Now today is, I think it's day 3 of the week in terms of just getting out there for a run. Now this first week back from running after the week off after the marathon, I am just taking it easy. So it's another easy run tonight. Not quite sure how long we're gonna go. Got the family with me. They're doing a couple of K. My daughter's gonna do 5K, and we'll see if I stop there. If I feel good, I am pretty tired. If I feel good, I'll keep on going for a little bit more. I've got almost 1,000 kilometers in these Triumph 20s now, so it's almost time to retire these. But we're gonna get going on this run. And oh, the other thing is that this morning, before I went and taught, I actually did a legs workout. Easy one, getting back into that as well, but a little bit of a legs workout, so legs might be a little bit tired and might be feeling that as well. Making up all sorts of excuses for tonight. We're gonna go on our run, then we're gonna get home so that I can sleep. All right, let's go. Ran a couple of kilometers with my son and my wife and my daughter, then ran a few more with my daughter, and ultimately ran a few on my own. Just around the neighborhood, nice easy run, 10 kilometers. Let's move on to taking a look at the rest of the week. So I decided at that point where I was feeling a little bit tired and I was trying to ease in back after a marathon. This is only the second week back after running that race. So I decided I'd actually take 2 days off. So Thursday and Friday of last week became recovery days for me because that was leading to Saturday. And Saturday I knew I had a long run and I wanted to do some elevation or get some elevation in for that long run. So I wanted to make sure that I was well rested for that Saturday run. Hi everybody and welcome to another video. Today is Saturday. It is 2 weeks out, almost officially 2 weeks out for my marathon. In 4 weeks time I've got an ultra marathon, the last man standing, that I am 100% not prepared for. Going on a little bit of a long run today. Don't really know how far. We're gonna talk about the last couple of weeks and how it's been going because I haven't really had a plan, and that's made me nervous and that's left me a little bit off track. And I just want to talk about that today because I think I'm somebody who really needs to have a plan to stay in focus because the last couple of weeks have been interesting. And Saturday did end up being a pretty big day for me. I got a total elevation of 628 meters. Now I know that doesn't sound like a ton to some of you, but over 25 kilometers with that total elevation turned out to be a pretty good day. My average pace was 6:50, so it was a moderate effort. It was definitely warm. I definitely had to take some gels while I was on that run. It was definitely probably the most vertical that I've gotten at least over the past year, certainly more than I had gotten during any of my marathon training block, this past training block that I just finished up. So I was really happy with that run. I was really happy with the results. One of the things that I noted with those, and I think I even said it in a video, and I don't know if I'll include that clip here, but while I was doing some of that hill work this week, a couple of spots in the park where I'm getting most of that hill, that elevation done right now, the bigger impact on me was actually the running downhill. Now, I am somebody, again, likes to lift weights in the gym, so I feel like my legs are fairly strong, but going downhill, really hammering those quads and kind of putting a little bit of stress on my knees at the same time, I felt like that was something that I'm gonna have to work on probably even more than the uphill running. The other thing is, and this is me just sharing my experience in terms of trail running and ultra marathon running, it's zero. I don't really have any. I'm definitely a road runner at heart. That's where I've put most of my, or if not all of my focus in training, doing the odd trail run for some sort of recovery, but not really doing much training on trails in terms of races. So pacing is definitely something that I'm gonna have to be working on. And all I really mean there when it comes to pacing and feeling like I don't have all the experience that I should have is that when I'm running on trails, one thing that I really still have kind of a hard thing to get my mind around is not paying attention to my pace in terms of wanting to get decent numbers posted to Strava. I'm still running up hills that I probably should walk up, and I'll definitely probably hang on the shoulder of some friends while I'm at this ultra who have a whole lot more experience when it comes to pacing trail races. I'm gonna depend on them quite a bit for that ultra because I tend to just put too much effort, too much energy where I don't really need to. I'm kind of in the mindset, it's hard for me to get out of the mindset of that marathon training or that marathon racing, where it's much more for me about setting a pace and trying to stick with that pace and not altering that. And if I have some small hills during that marathon, maybe I apply a little bit more pressure, maybe I put a little bit more effort in to keep my pace the same, but the reality is you're not able to do that on a trail run, and you need to be able to make those adjustments on the fly. So that's definitely something I have to learn. There's potential when I actually run this ultra marathon in a few short weeks that this is going to be a huge lesson for me when it comes to trail running, but hopefully I survive. The ultimate goal for me, to be honest with you, it's 5.5 kilometer loop to get around this trail run. And for me, I want to be able to say that I completed an ultra. So if I can do 10 laps of this last man standing, even if I don't quite make it to 12, certainly I'm going to try. But if I can get 10 in, that's going to put me at 55 kilometers, which to me checks that box of actually having run the ultimate distance. Now, going forward this week, what are the plans? Well, the plans are pretty simple. It's going to be a lot of easy running. I'm hoping to get a run in later on today after I finish filming this. Probably a lot of runs around the 10K mark. This is Monday that I'm filming this. Tuesday, hopefully I get back to Odell Park and just do another easy run similar to last week. Maybe another 10K where I'm getting a little bit of elevation in. Wednesday, if we can, we're gonna do a medium long run on the roads. Thursday, again, back to Odell if I can, where we can get a little bit more elevation and keep it between 5 and 10 kilometers. Friday, if I'm feeling rested, it'll be another recovery run around the roads. Saturday, this Saturday, rather than go back to Odell and get more elevation, I'm just craving a long run on the roads. So we'll see, maybe that'll be 30 kilometers or so just on the roads. I'm feeling pretty fit and I really enjoy pushing those paces. And also who knows, my daughter is pretty happy with coming off the 5K race that she did a couple weeks ago, and with park run, with there being a local park run. Maybe that's how we start our Saturday morning. All that to say, lots of things are up in the air right now. Really trying to feel it out, really trying to just hold on to my fitness and maybe gain a little bit of fitness over the next couple of weeks. Really excited. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I think I've got a lot of really good content out there, and I think there's a lot of you out here that can actually relate to what I'm trying to do here on my channel. So my name is Matt. This is What Matters to Matt, and ultimately, what matters to me most is my family. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be